Sorry.
Who was that? Was that a burp?
That was me clearing my throat, and
Okay.
and I thought I muted it, but I unmuted myself. And welcome to the show, people.
Yes.
Well, just keep rolling, Christy. Welcome everybody to the show.
We're here.
What an
for
intro.
parties.
Oh my God. You know what? That throat clear is so representative of my week.
And I, a little behind the scenes, the person that is like the most like articulate about making sure that we get rid of all the noises and the
I
sipping
hate
and everything
noise
is
so
Christy.
much.
Christy
if
was
I had
like, you
ice
better
in
not
my-
cough with your mic on.
If I had ice in my cup, I'd probably make an ice crinkle sound right now, but my water has no ice in it.
Well, welcome all DCL podcast fans on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching. Like joining us today is Christy and Chris, and good friend of the show from Mouse Gen Lake. How you doing today, Lake? Since you're our guest, I guess. Well, you're not even a guest anymore. You're like a regular. You're part of the team.
Full time.
Yes.
Oh, wow. What a
my
promotion.
goodness.
2 promotions in 1 week.
I know. Congratulations, Lake got a big promotion at work, so wanna offer that out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very excited.
Chris, I just noticed your glasses.
Oh my god, he looks like Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah.
You know who that was?
me. I don't even know who Charles Nelson
No,
Riley
I
is.
don't.
Oh my gosh, go watch like Hollywood Squares or whatever it was back in the day. He used to always be on that. So once again, dating myself, but we are here to talk about the christening of the beautiful Disney Wish. She is back in Port Canaveral, and they just live streamed it on their Disney Parks blog. So we all kind of were watching that together and messaging back and forth, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they presented and what we saw. So I guess I'm going to throw it to our.
Wait. Before, do we think it's saved? Like, is it going to re-air? Is it going to be something I
they'll
can
re-air
actual
it.
watch?
Yeah, they'll have to re-air it.
Typically, if it's YouTube, it'll just go back up.
But was it YouTube?
I mean, it
watched
was
it
on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
I watched it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Okay,
In
good.
fact, I could probably tell you right now.
I didn't
My
watch
YouTube
it.
algorithm, when I opened up the YouTube app on my Apple TV, was like, "Hey, the Wish christening is starting," and I was like, "How do you know me so well, algorithm?"
This is me watching it while I was in a meeting. It was like a travel agent meeting, so not a legal meeting. And so I had it, and then I had all your commentary. So I sort of knew what was happening, but I couldn't actually hear any of it. And I couldn't cry like the rest of you.
It is on the Disney Parks blog. You can rewatch it.
Sweet.
Nice.
So anybody who missed it, you can go back there and watch it. And if you were being represented by Christy in court today, I'm sorry if she does not get you off because she was watching the Disney Wish christening.
It's not a look of a person who's allowed in court.
By the way, you got me hooked on the Lincoln Lawyer. I watched like 4 episodes on the way back from Rome yesterday.
Isn't it good?
Yeah, it is.
I had audible gasps several times, like later into that series. So I can't wait for you to get to those parts and you to tell me about them.
I can't wait. Okay, let's jump into the show. We got a little bit of I know we've got a couple time constraints, and normally we would let but we decided he's not a guest because he's part of a team member now. So we're going to skip you, Lake, and let's just go to our theatrical expert as she flips her hair back there. Chris, what was your overall thoughts about the presentation for the christening of the Wish today?
Oh my gosh. Obviously, I love that they wrote a song for it. I don't know who they have hired to write it. It was full of just like platitudes about making wishes, which obviously makes a lot of sense. But it was so cute, and it sort of had a lot of parade vibes to it, you know, like character cavalcade, but on a stage in front of a new ship. But honestly, I loved it. It was so cute. They hired some really great talent. They sang live, y'all. I was so surprised at that. It wasn't like a track. It was these people just straight up singing live. They brought out Captain Minnie, the rightful captain of the fleet, just doing her thing. And it was the Captain Minnie who can blink and talk. You know how much I love those ones. They borrowed Steve's sequin red jacket and let Captain Minnie wear it. It was great. And that's how they sort of opened it. It was weird because there was like, maybe they do this on purpose, but I don't think Disney's ever started a live event on time when they stream it. Except for, did any of you watch Harmonious live on Disney Plus?
We were on a ship.
Oh, right. Sorry,
Half of your
so
screen was on
luxurious.
a ship.
Well, anyway, that started on time, and that was epic. I cried a little bit. But I digress. It was a great opening. A fun song. Did you all find it to be a fun, creative little sing-songy opening?
Let's throw it to Lake. What did you think, Lake?
I mean, I think, who is this? Dennis in the comments pretty much summed it up. It was such a DCL presentation, the Sail Away party on steroids. That's pretty accurate. It was very much along those lines. I did think the actual singing talent was exceptional, though. Like, I thought they did a very good job. But it was, very kitschy, kind of Disney-esque, which I think that's what we would expect, right?
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
Do y'all remember when they announced that DCL was going to start sailing out of New Orleans, and they went to like French Quarter at Walt Disney World and had a whole choreographed song and dance number to be like, guess where we're sailing next? And then it was New Orleans. This had those vibes anyway.
So we get another comment. Amanda loved Annika Noni. Am I saying her last name right?
Annika Noni Rose.
Singing and all the characters out there.
Yes. For those of you who are like Steve Creasy and didn't know who Anika Noni Rose was, she is the voice of Tiana. And let us think about this. Tiana has that sort of like wishing star moment in her movie as well. And let's not forget that, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Princess and the Frog, there's that beautiful scene at the end when the firefly joins the other firefly in the sky and becomes a star. And while she was singing that song, they had the chandelier with the wishing star at the bottom behind her. So they were going hardcore on the wish upon a star. It's not just Cinderella, it's Tiana too. All these princesses are out here wishing on these stars. So I obviously loved it.
I mean, the whole ship's kind of an ode to the princesses.
It is. You're right. It has very princessy vibes.
Hence the castle theme. Christy, I know could you hear it or could you just watch it? What was your overall takes?
I couldn't hear any of it, unfortunately. I was listening to a meeting.
Okay. Well, we're not going to give away too many of the spoilers. Well, not there's any spoilers, but we don't want to give away too much stuff in case people want to go back and watch it, but we'll talk about it. Amanda says, I can't wait to see the Bayou Lounge too, which to her point with the characters, they basically at the end there when Anika was sailing, whatever. They brought out pretty much every character that's represented on board, whether through a lounge, through the restaurants, or through even Star Wars. I think I was texting at one point, like, I want to see Stormtroopers, and all of a sudden we got Rey and Chewbacca came out. They were, I guess they got a little bit of time off from the Halcyon, came on over to the Port Canaveral before they head back to their adventures there. Lake, I know you and Katie are kind of big characters, or you follow the characters quite a bit. Any thoughts about the way they presented the characters today?
No, I thought it was cool that we got to see everyone come out, except the Marvel. It was like the Avengers Tower in the background. That's not canonically right now, but that's my own little notice. That was also when we were sitting there talking about the ship using the thrusters to stay in place, so I was only half paying attention.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed is everything else is going on, I'm watching the thrusters, keeping the ship in place. I guess that was Admiral Donald. He was up there actually doing some work while Captain Mickey and Minnie were out there taking all the glory. Again.
Chris, I think we need to charge Steve every time he texts us about Donald and or mentions Donald on the podcast.
I am not in good company because friend of the show, Brian from DCL Duo loves Donald. Your husband, Christy, loves Donald. And
Brian
Steve
Call
is the human embodiment of Donald. So I think that I am not in great company. Lake, do you have Donald feelings? We've never talked about my distaste for the duck.
I don't know if there's really any characters that I distaste, to be honest.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
None of them have done anything to attack me personally, so.
All right, well, there you go.
Sarah's got a question. She says, sequins. Did you guys talk about Mickey and Minnie's sequin jackets? And there was, and Christy, remember Steve? He was the Starlink guy that somebody had put on Twitter just recently. I actually got to meet him on one of our port excursions. He had this sequin jacket just like that. We were sitting upstairs and talking, and we could see him down there as he was going into Lumiere's one night. And so I think that he was kind of setting the trend that Captain Mickey and Minnie kind of brought to the stage today. Any thoughts on the sequin jackets, guys?
I may have even gasped during my meeting when I noticed that there was sequin jackets on my screen, and I was like, and so I definitely need to see more of that. I'm here for it.
Do you think that's a one and done, or do you think they're going to be rocking those on the Wish when she sails here in a couple days?
Ooh. Well, today. She sails today.
Yeah. Well, let's go through a couple other different things. I want to get you guys' take on this. In the past, it's generally been one person who's been the godmother of the ship, but this time they went with Make-A-Wish, with the Make-A-Wish kids, and I thought this is a really classy nod by Disney, since it is the Wish, and they partner with Make-A-Wish, just a great organization. And the way they said it too kind of brought a little bit of a tear. I mean, I'm actually being serious to this right now, because I'm normally this kind of sarcastic, but they put it out to every past, present, and future Make-A-Wish kid is going to be the god kids of this ship. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I think it's kind of cool. What would be really cool is they kind of go all in on this, and like, because there's probably almost always going to be Make-A-Wish kids on whatever sailing you're on. So it'll be cool if they really like play up that grandeur. Like, you know, every time you're on, they're like, oh, and we also are welcoming, you know, the godmothers of the ship today. Yeah. Like, they're all on this sailing. I think that would be cool if they really play that up. Otherwise, it's fine.
And like maybe a special place on the ship that you can only go to if you're a Make-A-Wish kid. Mm-hmm. Like, that would be cool. But I don't know if you all noticed, but when they announced that these were going to be the sort of godchildren of the ship, they had a bunch of photos of different Make-A-Wish ambassador kids from around the country, and they were all holding wands with stars. And I'm just saying, maybe those are the wands that you get when you walk on the ship. They all had one, so go look at that promo pictures to see, and we'll let you know if that's actually the wand they're giving out.
They did show the wands in something already.
Really? Are they like wands with a star shape at the end of them?
I think they are. Hold up. I'll try to find it. I don't quite remember where I saw it, but we've definitely seen the wands.
Oh, I'm late to the party on this.
I hope they're of quality too, so they don't break, I guess.
That they're not the dollar store wands that you can like the light up with the star at the end that we absolutely have some of. Yeah. Maybe I need to find one of those for Chris. So she gets a wand on our cruise.
No, I'm gonna ask for one.
Yeah, that's fine. And hopefully Blake will have two and then can give your family one on the second cruise.
Well, also, I'm going to insist that they let my kiddo have one.
Derry says they should offer a suite that's always for a Make-A-Wish family. And then I apologize I still haven't fixed this yet. We've got somebody else from Facebook that said, I thought I read somewhere that they donated a room to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like there would always be a room for a Wish kid, which to Derry's point, I guess would be kind of cool.
Speaking of the room for the Wish Kid, when do we find out that I won the Tower Suite for the inaugural? I mean, that cruise is coming up. Don't they need to let me know?
Yeah. You got to know what to pack, right?
Did I also tell you I have to take my secretary so she doesn't quit if I take another trip? Because if I take her and her family, then she will not quit for me not being at work. See, it's legit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving. Anything else about Make-A-Wish, guys and gals?
It's great. It's a great, good on Disney.
Okay, so I just want to throw this out here before we finish up. Any random moments that you saw during the show today? I've got two. First of all, what was that bubble thing in the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge that they it popped through the air and then dropped into the drink? Did you guys see that at the very beginning? Anybody else see that besides me?
No, I totally missed that.
No.
Oh my God. Maybe go back. It's right at the very beginning. It looks really cool. I have no idea what that was. And I like the fact that they pointed out that don't be alarmed. Sailing on the Wish, you're going to be able to experience endless ice cream, chicken tenders, world famous chicken tenders, and chocolate souffle at Palo. Of all the things to point out, it was like, really?
That is hilarious. I get the ice cream, but those tenders are just chicken tenders, right? Are they world famous? I don't know. But I will say the souffle at Palo is superb and worth it. So makes sense. That was a funny thing to point out. They also, for those of you who didn't watch it, they had Bob Chapek and Josh D'Amaro come out, and then it started raining on them. And also the stage was super slippery, and the performers were clearly trying very hard not to slip and fall. So Florida had a little bit of a weather moment that dampened the day a little bit. Also,
it did get nicer as soon as Josh and Bob left the stage.
They left the stage, and then the sun came out. But yeah, there were. Who do we know who was in the audience? Were those just like invited media, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it was mostly media and travel.
Yes, and I did notice that there was like the fancy, because again, I couldn't really hear what was happening, right? The fancy people in the front rows seated with the umbrella, like totally blocking the several rows behind them because they had the biggest umbrella ever covering up their heads instead of getting rained on like every other person that's sitting in that theater.
Yeah.
So that made me smile.
My favorite was they gave the media people the fans, and then it ended up being raining. I don't know if you saw that. A bunch of them were holding the Wish fans.
I want a Wish fan.
Putting them over their head to stop the rain. So Josh D'Amaro's comments when talking about the next two ships said something along the lines that these ships would visit ports across the U.S. Was that just a reference to their existing ports, or could that hint at a different U.S. port in the future? Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, you're not reading too much into it. I think that New York will become a more common port. I think that San Diego will become a more common port. But their big thing is essentially with two islands or two private destinations, they will be able to have more ships ported near the Bahamas that can make stops in all of those places. So like that's really what they're talking about.
Well, they have that port in Fort Lauderdale that is going to be a port in the future. And isn't Fort Lauderdale going to be an LNG port at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that is very likely because they're LNG ships. So they can only port where there's an LNG hub, refueling, something scientific that I don't know how to say. But so they have to be where they can get their fuel.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest deterrent right now for the Wish as far as changing too many different places is being able to refuel with LNG, to your point, Christy. And I'm not sure exactly where all that is. They are definitely working on that down in Fort Lauderdale. And then also right now, actually, Port Canaveral, they don't even have it. They bring a ship down from South Carolina to bring the LNG down for the Carnival ship that is coming. I'm not sure, is the Carnival ship here already? There. Okay, it's the Carnival ship that's already there. And then also the Wish. Well, those are kind of the highlights I had, I guess. Anything else? Let's go around the room here and touch on anything else that we missed. Like, what did we miss that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I did find that bubble thing you were talking about. It's that pretty standard thing you see in bars with like kind of unique drinks now, where they do the smoke-filled bubble and they drop it on your drink, and then it pops open and all the smoke goes all over the place. But yeah, it does look like that was featured in the Hyperspace Lounge, which is very on brand for all of the different Star Wars bars we have right now doing that sort of thing.
They usually don't have that at the Denny's bar that I usually frequent, so I guess I'm going to need to up my...
Did you see me rolling my eyes through my glasses? I just want to make sure you saw that.
They do have it at the PGA Tour bar. So I also love like being like the very standard thing. I think that this is still not that standard, right?
I mean, it's one of those things that you see in like that style bar now. Like, how many Star Wars bars do we have that pretty much all have something like that?
You know,
I guess
surprised? 3. Yeah, they have. You're right. In what is it called? The Halcyon. Their like specialty drink is supposedly being stirred by a fish that or a creature that swims around in it, and then they draw it out of like a tap. but I didn't notice that same thing on this ship. So interesting. There's also video of a prototype going around where they deliver this like Star Wars looking briefcase to you, and then you push a button and it opens up and your drink is inside of it. So I do think that we can expect some cool, innovative things coming from Star Wars Lounge, Hyperspace Lounge. Also, have we talked about the fact that they haven't sailed with people yet, right? They canceled their first 2 sailings with people. So
well, I mean, technically they sailed through the transatlantic with people. So if you saw those, they did that commercial at the beginning. Those people were on the ship for the transatlantic. Now they had very
hired
specific
actors,
areas. Well, they
right?
by hired actors, they were people who auditioned to do it. But
Okay,
they're people.
That's what I mean. But they're using those to film promo shots of people in the actual rooms and in actual spaces on the ship.
Right, but it's families like your family or my family who would apply to be one of those people. It wasn't like they're actors necessarily. They're just families that look pretty on TV.
Yeah, they're being paid to do promo footage, which is cool. I would. Are you kidding? Make me that for the Imagination or whatever the next one, Enchantment.
Maybe they will.
The problem is Disney's starting to run out of Disney words that aren't already being used by other cruise lines, right? Enchantment of the Seas is like a ship on every single line. So if that's their next ship.
Every single cruise line has a wonder of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
The Magic is already out there on Carnival, and so
I think the Magic died on Carnival.
No, matter of fact, the cops just boarded it because of a big brawl that happened on it.
Oh, I thought that was one of the ones that scrapped.
No.
It was kind of I shouldn't laugh at it. That's sad to see that type of stuff happen on board. Well, I guess before we finish up, we're gonna change tack here a little bit. By the way, Sarah says dampen the moment, Chris, keeping the dad jokes alive. So good one there as you were talking about the stage there. So Christy, what is the sailing today? Do you know?
It's the GMA preview / there was a contest / media cruise.
So it is happening.
It has not been. Yeah, we have friend of the show who was a guest that we've recorded. We're going to issue that. Danny of a Florida Life. I grounded for not getting this right. She is boarding the ship, taking all of her tests. This Florida Life on Instagram. She is boarding today.
Yeah, we'll have her. We'll have her episode out next week. She was actually on the the Margaritaville ship. Yeah,
we're sorry, Danny.
Yeah, it was actually it's really going to be a good episode. I think you guys are going to like it. But she's agreed to come on when she gets back off this. So hopefully the sailing's going to go the GMA sailing, and then after that it is your sailing. Am I right?
Yeah, there's a couple of other shakedown cruises for cast members.
Okay, and then you're sailing, which is the Year of Wishes?
Yeah, the Year of Wishes winners, plus other travel agents and other influencers or stuff like that. And that is July 10th, 11 days. I took another COVID test today, still negative, so.
And July 14th will be the inaugural, followed by that with the DVC cruise. Not a DVC member, just DVC bought the ship, so DVC members were able to book it. There's a 3-day and then the 4-day, which all 4 of us hopefully will be on.
Yay!
Let's do it.
Yeah. So as we finish up, I just want to go around and get everybody's. What are you most excited about getting on the Wish and experiencing? Who wants to go first? Let's go with Chris.
Okay. I am a sucker for a new experience. I like it when they redo rides at Disney World and Disneyland. I like it when they change things. I like the brand new fireworks shows and the stuff. I don't always like it after I see it or do it, you know. Famously, Mickey's Mix Magic is a terrible fireworks show that we had to sit through for a whole year at Disneyland. But I'm a huge fan of Our Harmonious, and that was a new show that people were really upset that was coming and things like that. But with Disney Cruise Line, I feel like when they bring a new thing, people don't get as upset because it's not necessarily replacing an old thing. Mm-hmm. It's just a new thing, right? And so I feel like it's a cop out to say this, but I'm just excited for a new thing. I've been on all the other ships, and there isn't a lot new there. In fact, the thing that keeps people coming back to all those old ships is the experience, not necessarily the cool new things to see on the ships, which happens really rarely, right? Like every time there's a dry dock, maybe 1 or 2 new things are added. So anyway, I'm just excited to be on a thing where every single thing on that ship is new. And every single thing is you're seeing it for the first time. And that's so exciting.
There's going to be new ship smell. I cannot wait for new ship smell.
All right. Who wants to go next, Lake or Christy?
I can go. I mean, I have 2. So first one is just an expansion of what Chris said. Exploring a new ship. That's our favorite thing to do, is just walk around and figure it out. Of course, the first 4 ships are all follow a fairly similar pattern. And I mean, this ship, doesn't necessarily break the mold, but there is some really new and unique items and layouts compared to the other one. So we're just excited to get to see it all, get to record all that and explore that. And secondly, it is to sail with you guys, because we've never done like a friend sailing before, or necessarily a big group sailing. So that's all going to be new and exciting for us. And we are really, really looking forward to that.
It's funny because I feel like saying the friend answer, sailing with friends, isn't like the answer Steve is looking for, but really that was the very first thing that was my sort of response of what I'm looking forward to for our later in July cruise, is because like Steve and I had some other friends besides ourselves on this last cruise, and it was so fun to just like turn the corner and sit and have a chat, or go to happy hour in the evening, and just like all of these little experiences and having these groups of people. And my husband's not the most social, but he even loved like the group friend sailing aspect of it. You can hide in your cabin for a few minutes if you need, but man, I am so excited about that coming up too. But yeah, like Chris said, new ship smell. Like I want to see the things. I want to know what this wand is going to do in the lobby. I am really excited to see the brand new ship through my son's eyes. He is just talking about that slide to the kids club. And I'm really excited to see his experience in the kids club, because on the Magic, he spent so much time in there. Like the last couple of days, he literally came out to eat. And that was it. Like, and then from morning until night, when we weren't on an excursion, he was in the kids club. So just like to see that, like see his experience in the kids club is super exciting to me. So yeah, just figuring out the new, seeing what's there, trying the new restaurants. I'm a little apprehensive about the dinner show element for, half of your dining times, but I'm still excited to give it a try. Even the Marvel restaurant, I'm curious what they're coming up with.
I think generally, I mean, in the Disney fan community, people are kind of negative when things are new and different, and they change things and everything like that. And 90% of the time, it seems like they do a pretty good job. Or if it's not perfect right away, they tweak it and figure out a way to do it. I mean, I think about the Halcyon and all the negative kind of stuff that got initially, and at least for this first year, people are loving it. Mm-hmm. I'm with you guys, or Lake and Chris and Chrissy, I guess, as far as just seeing a new ship and being able to experience that. I'm excited about 1923. I mean, really excited about the Edge, to see what Alex is, our real big kids club guy. So I'm excited to see his time up there, and also spending time with you guys. And Amanda says she's looking forward to Marceline Market. I'm ready for something different from Cabanas. So be interesting to see how that works out.
Is it okay if we also call it Cabanas? Just asking for a friend, because I'm 100%.
We can call it not Cabanas.
Yeah. Well, I'm 100% not making that switch.
Can I throw one more quick question out for both all of us? And if you're in the comments, go ahead and answer this. So, of course, Steve and I won't get to see the ship until later in July. Chris and Christy will get to see it a little bit sooner than us. But there's going to be a ton of media coming out. There's going to be no secrets, basically, after this week. So are we people who are going to watch all the ship tours and know everything about the ship going in? Or are we going to try to not watch this and keep it a surprise? I'm kind of 50-50 right now. I don't know which one I want to do, but I would like to hear what everyone else is looking forward to, or are we watching the videos or not? Chris?
I avoided everything about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad for like 4 years or whatever. I still haven't watched any footage of whatever the Guardians coaster is, because I like to have those experiences. But so yeah, I guess the answer is no. I won't watch stuff, but I will.
You'll be in the stuff though in 11 days. So
yeah, I'll be in it ahead of folks, and that's cool. I guess though, I do like a good spoiler. I think a lot of our audience, is very like a lot of people who listen to our podcast have never been on the cruise, and they're listening to it for that experience of like, do you have tips? Can you tell me about the layout? Can you tell me what to do? So we're still going to provide you all spoilers, but maybe just not for ourselves.
And maybe we can do it in such a way we had talked about this before, of a more spoiler like show versus a more of a overall general thoughts about our experiences type show. So maybe we can come up with a way to do that.
Okay, so
go ahead. Go ahead. You finish.
No, I was just going to say we're getting it's about 50-50 from the comments we're getting. Absolutely not. Anthony says, Sarah says, totally watching the tours, taking in all the preview stuff as part of the planning excitement for me, especially since we don't get to go as often. Amanda says, yes, and yes. I want to know everything now. I'm a planner. I'll be sailing in August on the Wish. Natalie says 50-50. Haven't decided what we want to do first when we get on board yet either. Dennis says, I'm trying to stay spoiler free on the Hyperspace Lounge. Okay, Dennis, we promise we won't talk about that.
Well, we're not going to promise that. We'll just have to like say we're going to talk about Hyperspace now, and he can fast forward.
We'll caveat each thing we're about to talk about. We'll be like, next we're talking about Hyperspace Lounge, and then we'll be like, next we're talking about the time that Chris pushed the security guard to go down the slide.
Yeah. Next we're going to talk about when Chris gets arrested. And banned from Disney Cruise Line.
Being left in Nassau. So yeah, I think we can warn people, but I do think it's different to hear people talk about it versus seeing it all.
Yes, that's the point I was going to make.
Yeah, I feel like talking on the podcast is a little less spoilery automatically, because I could be like, the lobby's so beautiful, everyone, but who knows what that means until you really see it, you know?
You just like word for word took what I was gonna say, and it was awesome. No, it was awesome. I just like synced wavelengths with you.
Chris says, I will watch any and every room tour and most of the rest of the ship, except for the dinner shows and stage shows. Not supposed to film that, so I get those stories fresh. So I like that too.
And we'll never film anything that we're told not to film. So we won't take a picture. We won't. Chris will probably burn it into her mind, but the rest of us will rely on her memory. But yeah, we won't. Just so you know, if it's not supposed to be filmed, this group is not filming it.
Yeah, that's not our jam. We like to follow the rules.
So Liz says, I want to be a spoiler free, but I also want to know everything so I don't miss out on the experiences I might enjoy. I'm split down the middle. Derry says, I agree. After 3 years of hearing about DCL in great detail, it still wasn't close to experiencing it. So getting on board, even though she'd heard a lot about it, was completely different once she actually got on board and experienced it. So I guess with that, anything else before we finish out today, guys and gals?
You can call us guys. It's fine, Christine.
Okay.
We're not offended.
All right.
I'm habitually terrible about doing that. But like, welcome back, guys.
Welcome back, guys.
Like, okay, that's...
if you start calling us girls, now I might get offended.
Take a page out of Disney and call us dreamers of all ages.
Dreamers of all ages.
That's Steve's new byline. Is just like, welcome, dreamers of all ages.
I need to have that voice though. That's kind of booming down.
Caution
on you
runners
in the parks.
Yeah, Blake, you are good at that.
Speed bump ahead.
Speed bump ahead. Yeah, it's actually me.
Yeah. This is the officer of the watch.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I've got that one. All right, before we get out of here, Lake is torn between whether you should buy a new gimbal. Is that right for your camera today?
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna buy one. Yeah, the question is, did I want to like drive out and do it today or like order it?
But my bigger point is that Lake and Katie will be on board. They are going to be doing a lot of videoing of the different spaces. So Lake, for those who don't know your channel yet, I want to give you the opportunity to let everybody know where they can find you guys on Facebook, YouTube, and be able to see all the amazing content that you're putting up with Run Disney and also Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah, so as we've mentioned, we're going to be on a sailing here very shortly. We are very excited for it. You can find us over at MouseGen. We do have cruise vlogs from our previous cruises, as well as ship tours. Actually, I think we have a ship tour of the Dream, and I need to make one of the Magic. I have all the footage and just haven't put it together. And then we are going to be doing one of the Wish, of course. Looking very much forward to that. And I'm going to try to get these folks on camera with us as much as we can, and also make sure that they post to their own Instagram stories as much as they can.
We're just going to let you take over that as well, because you're really good at that. And then hopefully Amber from home will post some of our stuff and like put it up there, because she's good at making it cute and clever as well. We're very dry.
Stay tuned on our socials, because we will do some takeovers and stuff. Also, you know, not that we're telling you our whole itinerary, but we are going to all be going to Florida at the same time, which means, you know, we're going to be in parts of Disney World and in other parts of Florida. So we can show you, you know, maybe what the bar is like at a certain place, or what the pool is like at a certain place. So we'll do some takeovers. And I plan to ride whatever it's called, Cosmic Rewind. So you'll hear my hot take on that, because Christy's whole perspective is just, I hated it. So I'll give us some nuance here.
Oh, we can talk about it, because I've written it too.
Oh, I can't wait. I want to talk to that. So we will.
You guys could do like a little story chat.
We can do that. But yeah, so we'll do all that fun stuff. I will try to set up some live streams as well. Probably not all the days, just the days where the internet will work the best for us.
And the internet, you guys, is garbage. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
We haven't been on the Wish yet. Maybe they have like super Wi-Fi.
We'll hold out that they put some fiber optic cables through that shit.
It's the same.
No,
so
I don't want to believe it.
We'll be holding out that BMI works a little bit better for us. That's the Bohemian.
Yes.
All right, let's just go around the room real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs down overall. What was the Christening of the Wish? They did a good job in the show. Lake, you got a thumbs up from Lake. Chris, 2 thumbs up. Christy, 2 thumbs up. And since none of the cast members fell off the stage and they were able to perform everything, even in the rain, I'm going to give them a huge thumbs up for such adverse conditions and everything like that. So I guess as we get out of here, thanks for coming and listening with us. Thanks for all of you who support our podcast each and every week. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you soon on the DCL podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
We're back.
I know, we're back. Look at that. All right. Well, we're just going to...